are, second hour. Donovan Sadiq, the city troublemaker, and we are joined by Tay Wilder, Mr. Moreno Valley Derrotero, Pastor Don of Reflections Church, and Sean Fortine, Mr. Right Wing. So, a special guest for those guys that have tuned in. We have District 4 candidate and front run and most likely winner, Cheylinda Barnard. Now, wait, am I saying that right, or?
Yeah, Cheylinda Barnard.
Is it Bernard or Barnard?
Barnard.
Barnard. So, talking to the mic. So,
Okay.
Okay, great. You know, first of all, I got to say thank you for coming out. She has ventured into Edgemont, and anybody that can come from the 4th District over here to the old neighborhood, I give a lot of props to. So you get a lot of props for venturing here because you are here and Victoria Baca isn't. So that says a lot. So how's your canvassing? How's everything?
We're doing good. We're making a lot of progress. I think we made a lot more progress than people thought we were going to make. And we're knocking them out.
Okay. I mean, of the district, how much, do you guys have covered?
We're halfway through the district right now.
Okay, great. Recently, there's been a counteractive of door hangers that have jumped that is talking about useless Kerberos. And I'd have to ask this question. Are you putting out that door hanger in regards to useless Kerberos getting money from Highland Fairview, being useless, being absenteed, blah, 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 blah? Is that you doing that?
No, that's not us at all. We're not worried about that. We're here to run a clean campaign, and that's what we're concentrating on doing.
So obviously you don't want to win. Okay, no, there's a little joke like that because as you see, what useless Kerberos is doing is running a dirty campaign, and of course, $90,000 by Highland Fairview says a lot. So we got to be very, very careful about that. So, but this thing has been going out, which to me benefits all the other candidates because it's putting a different narrative on the on Mr. Kerberos versus him dropping these pastors here, these BS pieces on you guys. So yeah, but let's kick it off. Cheylinda is here. It's something about your name. It doesn't roll off my tongue. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. Most people call me Shay. Children call me Shay. That's why I said, Don, you can't call me Shay.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't.
The children can call me Shay.
It's hard. I like that though, Shay. So, but Shantae, which we're going to say Tay, so that I'm not going to get confused.
Okay,
we're going to let you start it off, and you have some questions that you want to ask, maybe.
Yeah, and I left my notebook in the car, but whatever. Last night's city council meeting. Did you watch? Were you there?
You mean Tuesday?
Oh, what day is this?
Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Okay, I'm not feeling good. Work with me, people. Tuesday city council meeting. Did you watch it? Were you?
No, I have not watched it yet. We were out canvassing. We are a small grassroots campaign, so there are what we call the faithful six, and so we have to walk because I do suffer from no name recognition. So while I'd like to attend the city council meetings, unfortunately right now I have to get out there, get my message out there, get my information out there. And on Wednesday, when I normally would have been watching when we got done, we actually ended up having a meet and greet yesterday that ran a little long.
Oh, a meet and greet. So how much money have you, may I ask, have you guys raised so far? Do we have to wait for the 460s to get that?
No.
I take it it's not $90,000.
It is nowhere even close to that. I'm sorry. So if you see me say and look over, I'm referring to my husband / campaign manager.
Yes.
1800. There you
1800.
go. 1800. Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. I saw a lot of your signs in the district and stuff, which is awesome and great. Pastor Ron, you got a question?
Oh, hi. Nice to see you again. It was wonderful meeting you at the debates over there at the clubhouse. Yeah, I do have a question for you. Obviously, I have I have a really big interest in the golf course. The golf course, the clubhouse, the plans for the Boys and Girls Club. I am a little concerned. It's going through planning right now. I'm assuming it'll get to planning. I've already met with them. It's going to get to the planning commission. Mm-hmm. I feel confident about that. But then when it gets to city council, I'm a little bit concerned that it might be a split vote right now. It could be 2-2 depending on which direction Ms. Baca and Mr. Gutierrez go. I'm interested in knowing what your opinion is of the project. I'm interested in knowing what you see as the benefits of the project, if you see any detriments to the project, and as of right now, for what you know, how would you view it and how would you vote for it?
So there are benefits to the project. One thing that is a benefit is the revitalization of the golf course, which will send the property values up. I'm a homeowner myself, so I understand property values going up, especially if you, for whatever reason, want to pull equity out of the house or want to sell it, you need the property values to go up in the home. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. The other side of that is I support the project the way it stands. The youth center, because it is something that's needed, it is a necessity, so I do support the youth center. I also support that they are going to put some apartments over there. I do support that. I understand the need for the apartments because the developer, that's what they specialize in. So I understand why they're saying, we're going to have to add some apartments. That's what they specialize in, and it's an extension on what they have going on. So the way the project sits right now, I'm okay voting yes on that project. Okay. I am, because it's not just about, the project benefiting one person or one side. It's a that benefits the entire community over there, and the community also gets some value out of it also.
Do you see any negative about the project? Do you see any reason for homeowners or people within that area to be against what this project's all about?
I can see the homeowners that do have the issues with the project, one of them being the fact that they're going to have more apartments. And they feel like the apartments are going to be blocking their view, it may bring down the value. So I do see it from that perspective too, that is an issue for them. But the way I always looked at everything is I have to look at the overall of benefit of everybody. You have to look at the overall benefit and the greater good for everyone involved.
Are you familiar with bridge properties and the properties that they currently do have?
I've read on some of them, yes.
Okay, because I live in a bridge property, and a lot of people who are concerned about the apartments don't understand that these are gorgeous. These are gorgeous properties, and they actually purchased where I currently live from the old owners. Now
Where do you live at?
property, Ridgeview.
Yeah.
And they've overhauled that place. And I used to live in another bridge community in Corona, and those were townhomes, and it was really nice.
Right now, doing a second project over in Chino, Chino Hills, and we're talking $3,500 rents. They are luxurious, luxurious apartments. We're talking about the high district, high dollar rent type properties. So it's nothing that's going to make that area reduce its value from that standpoint, at least for the living area for that area. But that's real. That's a very important, because obviously my church is where I want to be. I want to be in that clubhouse. I've already got the verbal okay to be in there. So obviously I have a very vested interest that project goes forward.
Right. Daryl, Mr. Moreno Valley. Now, be careful here. Be careful. Daryl's loading up. Go ahead, Daryl.
First of all, I want to thank you for taking this adventure and making a difference in this community. And my question has to do with the quality of life. And the quality of life I want to talk about is to ask you, what is your opinion about the study for our own joint power police services?
So I think that there needs to be some more research done. Now, while I understand the goal should be to eventually for us to be able to sustain our own police department, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have our own police department. But I want to make sure it's not costing the citizens more money. For me, it's always about the cost. Are the benefits going to outweigh the cost of it? Are we, the citizens, always going to have to front load? Are we going to be carrying that? Are we going to be the ones, because we are one of the bigger cities, are we going to be the ones fronting the most for it? So I need to know, what are we going to get out of that? I don't have a problem with us saying, we need our own police department. It'd be nice to have our own police department. Police officers that come within our city that's not through a contract, and they're up in the contract throughout the year, and we have more of a say. So that would be a nice thing, but I want to make sure it's cost effective to the citizens.
Okay, thank you.
Sean, you want to go next? Be careful now. Remember, Sean's right wing. You are a Trump supporter, right? No comment. No comment. Okay, good.
I no comment on the last.
Okay, good.
I know you've had associations with people like Denise Fleming and the African American Coalition. Mm-hmm. A lot of those, quite frankly, race-based interest groups tend to be very can be very cliquish and act in a way that's really gratifying to their own members, but really doesn't resonate with outside people. So, what would you do to expand your support base away from just that African American Coalition group?
Okay, so my support base is not just the African American Coalition group. I am in general a people person. I grew up in Riverside. My friends are everything. So I don't look at everything based on, okay, so you're African American, you're Hispanic, you're white. That's not how I do it. I talk to anyone and everyone, and I don't have a problem talking to anyone and everyone. If the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce wants me to come there and meet with them, I don't mind that either. I don't necessarily put myself in this box. It's a box that I see that a lot of people put themselves in and have put me in, but it's not a box I put myself in. When you see me out in the street, you see me who I hang with on a regular basis. Even the people I work with at work, my clients, the people I work with, they're all different races. Base it off of that. Those are the boxes that people have put me in. I haven't put myself in those boxes. And the reason that I can say that I can reach across the lines is because I don't care. You may see me at an African American Coalition event, but I don't have any problem going to any other events they have around here. If the event's open, it's open for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem.
Denise Fleming! It's my event! You come here to worship me! Anyway, I'm going to tell you what. So far, Shay is on the hot seat, and she is doing very well. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to pull out some cards that was from the debate. And I'm going to tell you, for those of you guys that are listening right now, this young lady, and I'm saying that because you're younger than me. So when I say young, she's not young like Carveris. She's young as in mature, experienced. She's 25? No, I'm joking. Your husband's here. I got to worry about that. 30s. She's in her 30s because it's not very polite to put people's age out there. A lady's age is out there.
I put it out there.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. You know, you're going to talk about me. 35. I met her mom, beautiful mom, Army veteran. So anybody that's a veteran, even though you're a stinking, lousy dependent. Well, I was a dependent too, so I can't really say anything about that.
I'm nobody's dependent.
My question for you is this. And by the way, I love your hair. I love the way your hair is.
Me too.
We're in this district as a representative of District 4. Is your concern just that district versus these poorer districts? I mean, what are you going to do about, the other parts of the city? What can you do? Like what's happening in Edgemont? People get elected and they say, well, I'm worrying about, and your main responsibility is your district. But there's right and wrong. And so it's like when a project came up for the street repairs here in Edgemont, every other councilman, remember, wanted a piece of that road stuff. And I said, no. And former Mayor Molina said, Edgemont, it's time. This isn't right. We got to let these guys do that. What can you do if you're elected for the Edgemont area and where Sean lives, because they have bad roads up there, but will you be a representative that will not only represent your district, but also stand up for what's right versus what a developer wants?
Yes. While I understand that District 4 is my main responsibility, I understand also that I have a responsibility to not just District 4, but all of the districts and all the citizens within the city. And I have that sense of responsibility regardless of what it is. I never just worry about just me and mine. I always worry about everybody else. And it's what compelled me to be a social worker when I was sitting on the sidelines well, I guess I can continue to work as a paralegal. And I just said, but I don't like it. It's not what I like to do. It's one of those things where you can't always worry about just you and yours. You have to worry about everybody else because they may not have the same access to tools, information, and things of that nature that I have. I may have some knowledge. I may be able to push something through that other people may not be able to get through. So I do have concerns for not just my district, but the entire city.
Okay, great. Pastor Don?
If you could just tell us, what is your two biggest hot buttons? In other words, why did you run? I mean, what are your two biggest hot buttons, not only for District 4, which is obviously the most important for your district, but in regard to Marina Valley? I want to know why you ran, and I want to know what is your passion, what is your hot buttons that influence you to go forward with this thing?
So, I am a firm believer so my background is political science. I I have always kind of been interested in government ever since I was younger, and I am a firm believer in when you are doing all the right things, you've elected people to represent you, and they're not representing you the way the people have asked them to, or they've lied to you and they haven't done what they said they were going to do. I am a firm believer in, you know what, then it's up to you to figure out how to change it. Because if you've been following all the rules, you guys have done the recalls, you voted to get them out, and they're still putting there and they're not listening to the citizens, then it's up to the citizens to, I guess I hate to say it, to throw their own version of a revolt. So I threw my name in the hat because this is a version of a revolt to tell them enough is enough. Enough is enough. How else do you change it? If you follow the rules, you've tried to talk to them, you've tried to ask them, do this, do that, they blatantly lied to you, and everything you've asked them, they've gone against that, what is your other recourse for action? That's what I ask people when I go, what is your other recourse for action? Stop just getting mad for 5 seconds, forgetting about it, and then it's time to vote again, and now we're going to put them back in. Now you throw yourself back, and you throw yourself in the hat.
Well, right now we're down to we're 2 minutes, but pretty soon it will be 5 seconds if the city council gets their way.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Can I just have a follow up? I'm sorry.
Sure. No, go ahead.
You sound like someone no one's going to push around, which is, that's almost like something that all of us here want to hear, because it seems like there's council people on there that get pushed around pretty easily. But in regard to your hot buttons in District 4, what are the one or two things that you would want to be on your agenda done in the time that you're a city council for that district?
I would like to see that the warehouses that are approved be the last set of warehouses we have there. Because I know we can't change the ones that they're already digging up and building. I would like those to be the last warehouses. For me, the tipping point was there's a school not even a block from my house, and it's a junior high and a middle school. And you sat over there, and we already P&G, they're pretty good neighbors. So they were fine. But now you're building 2 more warehouses over there, and the semi trucks are coming down on Emma, and they're coming down on Iris. And my thing is this: do we not care about the trucks coming through and all the traffic coming through on basically 1-lane highways that are crumbling until one of these kids get hit? Or right over there off of Iris, where the kids get picked up at 6:30 in the morning to take a city bus to Citrus Hills, where it's dark outside. Are we not going to be happy till someone accidentally tips over on them in a truck? So that was the pressing issue where I was like, I don't care. They don't care. These kids are lined up here in the middle of the, 6:30 in the morning. There's trucks coming through here. These parents are walking their kids to school, and you're just like, we'll throw another warehouse over here because we have an empty plot of land.
Wow.
That was the trigger for me.
Right. I speaking to kids, and you're a social worker, I wanted to ask you this. It's a very important question. And it's not a gotcha question. I'm asking your expertise.
Okay.
Did you see a video of your opponent, canvasser, Louise, city activist, Palomares, tearing down signs and material that you guys put up? And you're aware of the incident where she was doing that a couple of weeks ago, and she was caught on video with her kids or her grandkids. As a social worker, contributing to the delinquency of a minor is a crime. Am I correct?
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
She was using whoever these kids are, be it her grandparents or whatever the deal is, and I believe your signs were also victimized as well. Mm-hmm. Did you press charges, may I ask?
No, I didn't press charges. We had made some few phone calls over there to start to get the ball rolling. So I'll tell you about where I come on that side of it.
Okay.
Unless we can prove that the adults did it, and I know some people want me to say this, but it's the truth. I don't want to ruin some children for following directions of adults. It's not their fault of who they're related to.
Okay.
So I don't want them to get hit with anything. And that's just me personally, being a social worker. Sure. I think about the repercussions that they would have for it.
If these kids are her grandmother, then the responsibility wouldn't be yours, because obviously she's condoning it. So let the guilt be on her, not on yourself. Because I wouldn't want.
You know me.
Well, yeah, but one of the problems in the city is that we have people who use these kind of tactics and claim that they're godly and they were chosen by God and all this other stuff, and yet we're where we're at.
But really, the kids are just being set up by the adults. The kids probably don't really completely understand what they're doing. So, what about do you have some issue taking action against the adults that are teaching these kids to?
No, I don't have an issue taking action against the adults. My big issue is taking action against the children. I don't like to set kids up for things that could follow them around for a few years or something like that. That's me.
Well, these kids are very minor. The adult is on video, so there's nothing stopping you from pressing charges against that said adult. So I would strongly, because this is what we got to do, and this is why we're losing in this city, because we let these people get away with it. And you let them get away with it today, the next person that runs in 2 to 4 years, it happens again. Oh, well, let it go. No, we got to get rid of these urchins out of our city.
It happened before. It's happening again.
Right, exactly.
It's happening again. In the last election.
Right, exactly. I lost over 21 signs. And I think I have a good idea who took those signs. Mr. Moreno Valley, go ahead and next question.
Okay, we need more senior residency in Moreno Valley. How or what is your vision on this?
I agree. There needs to be more senior housing. My thing with that is we need to determine if we want to focus on low income, because a lot of the clients that I do serve are on fixed incomes. And for a senior, a fixed income for some of them is as little as $800 a month. So we have to keep that in mind. Or do we want to focus on more on the ones who retired and retired with money? So we need to figure out, do we need a mix of those? Do we need to have all of them need to be low-income housing for seniors? So that's it. That's where I come from on that. Like, it's an issue we do need to have resolved, especially with the influx of people we have coming that have been priced out of Orange County, Riverside. We do need to start dealing with the housing, and more people that are starting to get priced out too aren't just your working families, they're starting to be the seniors.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
Tay?
My question goes along with what you do professionally, and I applaud you for doing social work, because when you have to, I don't know how you do it, to be honest. When I see people that need help, I'm emotional about it. We have an issue in this city when it comes to the lack of preparation for our kids to do better than the generation before them. We're not setting our kids up for college. We're not setting our kids up for better jobs outside of these low-paying Amazon 90-day rotation jobs. When you win,
We got to say that. I mean, you're a front runner.
And what is your take with coordinating with the school board to better equip our children? And I can say, because my child's graduating this year, I have another child that's in middle school, and I see the vast difference between all the other school districts my kids have been in and MVUSD.
So my attitude is they need to stop teaching to test. They need to teach them real skills. The one skill that they probably all need to know is, even though we don't use checkbooks anymore, is balancing a checkbook.
Financial responsibility, yeah.
I mean, you can say what you want. As long as it's plastic, people don't relate it to money. We also need to think about not just the kids that we want to prep to go to college. We need to think about those who may not make it to college and figure out what the career path is for them. My brother is one who my mom said she knew by the time he was in the 7th or 8th grade, he just wasn't going to go to college. Right. My brother had options. I didn't. I had the option of you either go to college or you don't get to live here. So I went to college. My mom said she just knew he wasn't going to. But her frustration came about was there was no skills that they were teaching them in high school. They do back east. I have cousins that live back east who were trained to do things back east. They were trained as electricians. They were trained as plumbers. They learned computer work. They learned all of that in high school, and it transitioned them into a career path. So if you can find out early which kids are going to be geared to go towards college and which kids are geared to go towards a career path to sell them. And I don't diss anybody who works at McDonald's, Subway. I worked at Subway and Disneyland. I was working my way through the last few years of high school and college. So I don't have any problem with it. But those, again, are starter positions. That's not something you want them to feel like that's what they're doing. So they need to figure out a better way to partner up. I don't care if you call the local plumber and you say, hey, Do you mind if we start some type of internship program where the kids we can pick a few kids and maybe they can learn how to be a plumber? Because you're always going to need a plumber. You're always going to need HVAC. You're going to need an electrician. Sure. For those that are geared to go to college, then we need to figure out where is it we're falling short at. Where is it we're not teaching them enough to not just get them graduated and applying to college because their GPA is high, but to sustain them past that first year? Because the first transition year to college is rough.
Funny thing you said that.
Only follow up.
No, it's funny that you mentioned the first year because I don't know if anyone's aware. MVUSD just put out this informational flyer on Peach Jar that the graduates of Moreno Valley schools get their first year free at Moreno Valley Community College. But they have to take full ride. It's a full ride, but they have to take a full course load. And I think that's great for the first year, but what's going to keep them going on year 2 or even beyond?
I can answer that question. That question. Stay your asses off the quad. Okay? That's what tripped me up. So stay off the quad. When the bell rings to go to class, take your asses to class.
Ain't no bell.
Bell in college? What college did you go to?
Well, whatever the things to go to class, whatever that bell is.
There isn't one. It's called you.
Because when MLK was built at RCC, I used to sit my butt on that little library quad and just be chilling and wilding out right there on there, and I was not very successful. So
okay, well, apparently you heard bells that the rest of us didn't hear at college.
Well,
I never had bells.
You know, hey, well,
I had a bell at CBU. So.
Well, whatever I was listening. Well, anyway.
Dog, I had bells.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the only one old enough.
Yeah. Well, I remember I've been to a lot of college. If you see on my wall of fame, I'm going to take you to, and I'll show you because, yeah, I got a lot of education there. So, but Sean being right wing, he is against. Pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps, damn it.
Okay.
Nothing in this world is free. Right, Sean?
It's not.
Sounds like that.
I do break with the GOP on that we do need some sort of a social safety net.
Sure. Okay.
We're not trying to put everyone
in the same basket.
Everything for everyone, but to try and make it keep people from begging on the streets.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Now, quick, guys, please do not forget, we have the Hot Seat app. You can download it in Google Play and also in the Apple Store. And you will get great interviews like this. And if you ever run across Cheylinda out there while she's canvassing, Cheylinda, I'm sorry. Cheylinda, while she's out there canvassing, you can archive what she said and throw it back in her face. And it's on record. And even when she's on that council seat, the promises that she's going to make here, because she just said that she's going to give the Edgemont area $1 million. No, I'm just joking. She didn't say that. But
he's hearing bells again.
Yeah, I'm hearing bells. I got to try, man. You know, nobody's advocating because Victoria Baca isn't doing it. But I have a really serious question for you.
Yes, sir.
Very serious question. Sometimes on that dais, you got people, and what the mayor, or whoever the mayor is going to be, isn't speaking right or isn't saying stuff right, and they just sit there and they don't do anything about it. When you know what he's saying is wrong, or he's an idiot. Are you going to be one of those people that just says, well, you know, I got to get along to get along. I don't want anything like that? Because that's the problem we have with LaDonna Jimson. She was supposed to be the mayor by the way that the rules were written, and she got steamrolled. Okay,
Sorry.
because you know, I'm thinking about it. If he's written on it, you know, legal challenge it. And let the courts decide. Don't let Ito Benvizi decide. So are you going to sit up on that dais and be like, and don't get me wrong, you're a very positive, forceful, when I say forceful, not in a bad way, you know what you're talking about and you believe in what you're talking about. And you seem like you stand up for what's right. Mm-hmm. So if the mayor's up there saying, I don't have to answer to nobody, are you going to be one of these people that are going to say, you know what, that's bull crap. You need to stand up and put your panties on, Mr. Mayor. And, you know, do what you got to do. Or are you going to be one of those people like, okay, I'll just sit here.
Okay, first of all, I wouldn't tell him put your panties on.
No, that mayor put his panties on.
I wouldn't tell him put his panties on. But what I will say is that's not true. You do have to answer for it because you don't sit on a throne. You are not a dictator. You don't tell us. At the end of the day, you're a citizen just like we are, and you work for the citizens.
And you're just a council member.
Yeah. And if the citizens are asking you a question, they put you there, answer the question. Yeah, it's one of the biggest issues that I think we have as a whole as society. It's why these town hall meetings with the Republicans, and they got their little talking points, and they got nervous because the people, they weren't They weren't expecting the heat.
Right.
Sometimes, you know what? You say things, you need to be held accountable for it, and you need to just answer for it. Face up to it. And that's what we have is somebody who doesn't feel like he has to face up to it because he feels like he's above it. But the other side of that is, and I tell this to people all the time, the other side of that is when they do things you don't like, you cannot keep rewarding them with your vote.
Ooh, good
so
point.
if you're rewarding them with your vote, why wouldn't they feel emboldened? Let's just be honest. Look at Victoria Baca, right?
Oh, please, I don't want to look at her. I don't want to look at her. No.
She was recalled, right? She was recalled.
Yes, overwhelmingly by 70%.
They recalled her.
Right.
Not only did she get back on, but she won by a good margin. So why wouldn't she sit up there with this clout about her?
Well, can I answer that? She won by a good margin because there was malfeasance in the registrar's office. Mm-hmm. She's taking absentee ballots and all coming out of the same address, doing what they have to do. Yeah. There was more people that voted in the District 1 that are actually registered.
Right. But what I'm saying...
The point is she won and she's there.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, so why wouldn't you sit there like that? Why wouldn't you sit up there with some type of arrogance about it?
Stop right there. We're supposed to be grilling you. Don't put us on the hot seat, okay? No. Good point. Yeah, I know. I was like, wait a minute. This is my show.
And it's not even grilling. It's just in general. Like, when I talk about these things, I'm not just talking about them from my standpoint.
Yes.
I'm talking about everybody needs to have these questions. Everybody needs to ask these things.
Absolutely.
That's why I sit up there and I'm like, you know what? You don't want to take special interest money? That's fine. I'm not into special interest money. That's okay. But
I'm interested in it too.
But if you are okay with taking special interest money, and if you as a citizen who's going to vote doesn't do your due diligence or are not bothered by where that special interest money comes from, don't be upset when they vote the way the special interest is leaning them to vote.
That's so true.
I mean, it's not illegal to take special interest money.
Right, absolutely.
But it's up to you if you don't want them to take it. Like, for instance, if you don't support Planned Parenthood, but you saw a candidate got $1,000 for Planned Parenthood, and you still vote for him, but then you're mad when they side with Planned Parenthood, well, that was on you. Right. Because it was all out there. The people of this city have to get tired, and they have to not be tired for 5 minutes and forget. They need to stop that. They need to be mad the next time they go out and vote. Stop being scared and stop rewarding them with your vote.
Why do we have to wait till the next time to vote? Why can't we just recall them immediately?
I mean, you can call everyone you want to, but then the same side of that is,
true.
What if they just don't go back and go through it the way Baca did?
Right.
This city has selective amnesia.
Yes, absolutely.
Too much.
As a candidate, real quick, are you for expanding the districts?
I am for expanding the districts. It's way too many people based on the ratio of numbers.
Thank you.
There's way too many people. It's impossible. I mean, if you worked at an office building, you can't have one supervisor over 40 people. At some point, they're going to be like, we need to bring some more people in. It just makes better. It helps the office function better. And for a city of our size, it would help break it and make it function a lot better.
How do you, the city's been having some trouble enforcing Brown Act rules in the last few years. Would you be willing to do anything to change that? And if so, how to enforce ethics rules?
I think that the problem is, because nobody cares about their ethics. I think we need to enforce them. I think that I wish I could say, and this will probably come back on me later, I wish I could say that the attorney would help with enforcing those, the city attorney. That's why I said I know it'll come back on me later. I wish they would enforce the rules, and I think we do need to enforce them, and I don't have a problem standing up there and saying they need to be enforced.
Would you have a problem with an establishment of an ethics committee?
No, I wouldn't. And isn't there an establishment of an ethics committee currently?
No.
There isn't?
No.
Nope.
Hence the problems we have.
I don't understand that, because if all your issues are around about ethics,
Absolutely.
because at this rate we're going to turn into the city of Bell, right?
We've already done that.
Well, I know.
We're past that.
We're
past that. Yeah.
But why wouldn't you have established one, especially if most of your issues are ethics? If the city really wants to quiet a lot of the more louder citizens down, that's a simple fix. Would it not be? A simple fix would be to have an ethics committee?
Wow, that sounds too much like right. What do you think?
Well, I mean, look, yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Mr. Moreno Valley, you've been quiet over there, so he's formulating.
No, I like your answers, and it's refreshing because a lot of us been fighting for a long time. I fought a long time when I didn't wear a suit, when I wore a T-shirt.
Since 2006, 2005, you've been in the fight?
Oh, no.
Longer than that?
1995, 6, 7.
Yeah,
Something like
there you
that.
go. Yeah.
Where Pete's hair wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't all white yet. It was still black. Yeah.
And it's refreshing because the concern I have is we need independence. And you seem like you are the person who's going to be independent. You'll stand up for what's right. And I guess the question I would have is really, I don't have a question.
I got
Okay, Pastor Don.
questions for you. You guys have been canvassing. You said you did about half of the district. What are you hearing? What are the people telling you that they see as
Good question.
problems with their district 4? And I got a follow-up question to that. But what are they telling you?
A lot of people are upset with the warehouses. They don't know where they're coming from. It's true. The public is just misinformed. They don't understand where things are coming from. So their biggest issue has been, a lot of them, is for the warehouses. The next issue that they have are some of the streets. They don't like the street lights take too long on certain avenues.
Sure.
The streets are crumbling. Mm-hmm. So those are a lot of their main issues and main concerns.
Well, what do they want you to do about that? I mean, the warehouses are here.
Right.
They're not going anywhere. So what do they, as their leader of that district, what do they want you to do?
They want them to stop. So what they'll say is, we all understand we can't do anything with the warehouses that are here now, but we don't want any more. Or can they put them a little further out? Because everybody says the same thing. I thought they were better off out there off of Paris, heading towards Paris.
Near an interstate, or in Edgemont, where we're at right now, as it's been zoned for.
Right. So that's what they're very concerned about. Now, as far as the lights, they want to know if I can have someone from the city come down and time the lights to figure it out. Can we do a light study, have the lights, check to see whether or not they are running too long. So those are things, and those I know we can get done down at the city, because there is an executive that takes care of that. They have a team. They can come out here and monitor the lights. Yes.
How would you keep them from spending like $30,000 or something ridiculous to do that?
That is the other side of it. You always got to spend something, but maybe we work on getting better contracts from different people to see what the competitive contract is.
Well, have you ever looked at the city ledger and the city budget?
I have looked at the city ledger.
We have all these warehouses, right? And it's not a gotcha question, but when you get up there, can you promise us that you're going to look into the ledger and see, with all these warehouses that we have and all these trucks, why are we not? I think you mentioned this at the debate. Why aren't we charging those trucks for tearing up our roads? Why, where's the revenue from?
We're not getting any revenue. We're not getting. There's no sales tax coming. We're not getting anything from them. Like, they're here, but what benefit are we getting?
Right, exactly.
For the amount of warehouses that we have, I'm sorry, we should look like Rancho Cucamonga.
Right, absolutely.
There's no jobs. There's no income. There's nothing.
I mean, I said that about Ito. He's developing Skechers, and he's.
Phase 2 and 3, Aquabella.
What else are we getting
Nothing.
to better the community? Nothing.
Skechers, that was negative 400 jobs.
Yeah, we lost jobs. We lost jobs in that.
We're not getting anything out of it. Yeah. He's giving money to his people, but he's not investing into the community. So why are you here?
But there is a developer that is investing to the community, and that goes back to...
Yeah, that's why Mr. Heffernan, when he wants to build that youth center, I mean, he is investing over $350,000 into that, because he's going to be paying all the bills for the.
And that is somebody we hope that when you get elected, that you will work with to make sure that project comes into fruition, because it's going to answer a lot of questions of those people in that area. And then have a really, really big question, because nobody's talking about this. What are you going to do to stop the white flight out of the city?
Oh, yeah, good one. Because my neighbor is ready to pack it up.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one, because our neighbors are ready to leave too, because of a third warehouse being built in their backyard, because they didn't know who was assigning them and who was approving them.
A lot of people have moved here.
That is a very tough question, and I'll tell you why it's tough. Because people move for various reasons. Okay. It gets too expensive in certain areas. Mm-hmm. Too much is going on, so they want to move. Based on the current conditions we have now, we can't stop it. What they can bank on, though, I guess, is what they can use is those people getting priced out who have to move out here, even though they're still making those long commutes.
Sure.
I guess that's what we can use to fill it, but it's tough. You can't.
But what's going to keep people like me, who right now live in an apartment, because I don't know if I want to invest in Moreno Valley.
Yeah.
So
There's no jobs.
being on the city council. Because I don't work in town. Being on city council, what do you hope to do to keep people here with all these other surrounding cities that are building things, developing their cities to keep residents there? They're investing in the youth. They're investing in like really nice water parks and community centers, and they're really taking the time to not master plan their city, because there's no way to fix
No way to fix this.
Yeah. There's just no way. There just really isn't.
True.
But I mean, what would you hope for your tenure on city council? What would you hope to? What would your legacy be?
I would hope that we would be able to attract quality, but there's nothing to do in Moreno Valley. That's just it. I mean, one of the big issues you have with leaving, there's nothing to do here. My husband and I are guilty of this ourselves. Mm-hmm. If we want to go out to dinner and it's not one of those areas like they're off of Frederick.
You're going down to the plaza.
Yeah, we drive all the way to Rancho.
Right.
We drive to Rancho Cucamonga. Yeah, we drive out there. So I would hope that they start to really look at what we can do to keep people here. I would like to see a walkable area. I know it's hard to throw in a downtown at the last minute because basically that's what we're working with. But I would like to see an area, and this may or may not hurt Donovan's heart because I know Donovan was impartial to the project that was there before. I would like to see them completely level that mall and just restructure it. They did it in Riverside with the plaza, and look how it revitalized that area.
First of all,
and they did with Tyler Mall.
The plaza.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Sam Goody every day after school.
Yes.
I went to school down the street from there, and I used to go to shop at Harris Underground. That was my spot.
Got shot.
Yes. But I love that idea. I think it's a wonderful idea because there is no place for us to safely walk or even shop outdoors.
No. And then when you look at it, it's completely revitalized once they did that because I remember going to the plaza and it was slowly dying, and then they redid the Galleria, had that big opening, and all of a sudden they were like, there's nothing here. And you know what? The city, they just made a decision. We just got to level it.
Right.
And when you look at that area now, they've got that movie theater. I mean, they left some things there. The Market Broiler's still there.
Still there.
Things are still there. But they restructured it, and it's a lot easier. You've got a Nordstrom rack over there. I wish we had a Nordstrom because I hate that drive sometimes to hit up a Nordstrom or a Nordstrom rack.
Right.
There are certain stores I wish we could have here, but they're going to have to let go of that mall. Even when you look at what they've done in Riverside, right off of Alessandro, the Galaxy, I do not go to Harkins. I'm sorry. I don't think I've been out to Harkins in a long time. I drive myself to that Galaxy Mission where they've redone it. I like my seats assigned. I like my seats reclining. And I like that if you're over 21, you can have a drink.
I like that my car will still be there when I come out.
Yes. There you
That
go.
too.
There you go. Okay, look, we got about a minute left. And I think...
is that it, Donovan?
Well, no, it's not it, actually. I think this is really good, so I think we should go into another hour.
Yes.
And or 45 minutes. How about that? 45 minutes.
Okay.
I want you guys to remember we have an app you can download, and you can see it on Apple and Google. And also, we are starting another app that's going to be happening soon. Loving the Skin I'm In, and we've got we've got two of the hosts of that show that are here, and we can't wait till that show gets started. And the app is going to be available in a week. Pastor Don in Reflections Church has their app as well. So if you guys are listening and you're not realizing what is going on, our show, like an octopus, is going in different directions with different topics and different subjects. I have my own show. Of course, nobody listens to it, but they listen to it, but nobody listens to it. And that's where we're going. And I think it's very important that we could actually talk to these representatives. And then when you get elected, since you're going to be at work most of the day, can I use your office while you're out? Yeah, make some copies. I want to take some pictures in front of the desk.
No, because you know what? If you use my, I would be the one that would get reported and get in trouble. They wouldn't let you play on my phone.
That's true. So, right. So we're going to go on. We're going to continue this into the next 45 minutes, and I want to thank Shay for doing this because this has been fun. Has it been fun for you? I mean, okay, great.
I'm not scared of you guys.
You heard that? I like that. I like it. We're going to see you guys again in 5 minutes after we pay some bills.
What do you see? The cult of personality.